When we're talking technology, we know with drivers there has been some big improvements in the last decade. Is that going to help you? Obviously, that all depends where you strike the ball on the face. So that's going to have an effect on how that golf club is going to perform for you. Today, we are talking about irons, and we are talking about some 2012 G20 irons. A forgiving iron from the range over a decade ago. How are they going to compare to the latest and greatest today? How are they going to compare to the Ping G430 irons, which have been a massive hit in the last year? But is it for me to test, or shall we get a mid-handicap golfer on here? We have got one waiting in the wings. He's absolutely freezing here in the studio as it is -4 outside, and that's why we're not on the golf course. But let me hit a couple of shots here and talk through a little bit of the technology from over a decade ago. So we obviously know the G range hasn't changed with Ping, and we know that obviously the big base around that is forgiveness. So are they forgiving? Are they getting you hitting more greens? That's exactly what we want to know from these golf clubs. Obviously, we're trying to think, has it changed in distance-wise? Are we losing distance, or have we gained distance with the technology? What have they done to get you to hit that golf ball a little bit further? Obviously, that's a big talking point we're going to talk through with Dave. But first of all, guys, if you are looking for second-hand golf clubs, if you are in the range of that is your budget, you don't want to spend over £1,000 on a set of golf clubs. These clubs are from Golf Clubs for Cash, so a second-hand shop. They do have a store in Warrington, which is the shop that I did go to. A fantastic range of pretty much every single brand you can think of, and they also have a store in Edinburgh. But you can buy them online, but just make sure, guys, when you are buying second-hand clubs, whether it's from somewhere like Golf Clubs for Cash, Golf Bidder, eBay, your friend's friend, make sure that they are the right length and right lie angle. You could buy some clubs, get a bargain on them. They're only maybe £300 for a set, but if they're at a 4-degree upright and they're an inch longer, they're not going to help you. But obviously, over the years, we saw previously on the channel, I did test the driver out, and Dave will be testing the driver, the R11 driver that I did have. And for me, I didn't see, obviously, too much difference. Maybe on when I was trying to shape the shot and it was slightly off-centered, we did maybe see a little bit more loss in distance, but the feel-wise felt pretty similar. Yes, the sound has changed. They have worked on that over the years. Here for me, I'm hitting a 7-iron there, around about 150 yards to 160 yards. Again, not trying to hit this full, just trying to control it. We know one big thing with the G series, especially in the G20s, there was some offset. So if you're a slicer of the golf ball, these certainly were directed towards you. For our mid-handicapper Dave, somebody who misses it left, maybe it wasn't the right club for you. They are game improvement irons, and they did always favour towards the slicer of the golf ball, which we know is the majority of golfers, including myself. When I was first playing, I did have a very large slice. Some could say I still have it now. But what's the big difference? Obviously, nice and easy to hit, a big face, big top line. We know they've got the wide sole, so that is again for that little bit of forgiveness. But how do they look down to the latest, the G430, and how do they compare with a mid-handicap golfer just like yourself? So here we have the G430s. We know exactly what we're getting. We've got that flex zone, so we know we've got 7 flex zones that are getting you increased ball speed. But Dave's going to come in here now with the G30s, and we're going to be comparing the 7-irons here today. I've got the 7-iron from the fitting kit here. We've got each standard loft. We've got a very similar shaft in there, so a regular 95-gram shaft for Dave. So let's see how he does. Obviously, looking down at them, Dave, you know they're screaming out, obviously, forgiveness.
They are, but they're also screaming out offset. I used to have the model before these, with a graphite shaft, the G15.
G15s,
and I had them for a few years, but I've gone through a few sets of clubs since then. I'm not sure that my distances have actually improved or my dispersion, but who knows?
Yeah, and that's it. Again, guys, in irons, have we seen a massive improvement? Yes, these irons, the G20s, were perimeter weighted. We know we've got a lot of forgiveness here in the Ping G430s, but there was the K15s, I think, at the same time in 2012, which were even more forgiving than the G20s. But we know Ping is very much known for forgiveness, very Ping-looking clubs, and we'll compare the looks shortly. Straight away, Dave, we've got a little bit of turn on that. Distance-wise?
Do you know what? I'd say that 132, that's probably about 10 yards down on what I hit me
10 yards
Tacomas.
down on what you would normally hit it. Well, let's hit a couple more. Let's hit 3 with this and then let's switch over. So guys, we are going to be doing this series over the year. Again, comment below, what would you like to see from 2013? Did you buy golf clubs in 2013? What was your favourite, as we are due to go back to Golf Clubs for Cash and see what they've got? Or should we let Dave loose? Pick his dream set from 2013. That's a nice high shot, Dave. Carry wise, a little bit better. Very consistent carry wise and distance. So
Yeah, maybe it's just because it's absolutely freezing.
it is rather cold in here. We do have a shutter on here, guys. I know everybody asks why have we got woolly hats and a lot of layers on. We do have a roller shutter. And there might be some gaps where the fresh air is getting in, let's say.
Oh, don't matter how forgiving they are if you hit it like that, though.
Well, let's go one more, Dave. Because I don't think that was the golf clubs, unfortunately.
No, it certainly wasn't. But is it ever? That's the real question, isn't it? Is it ever the golf clubs?
Again, these golf clubs are coming in just over £200. I believe they are £208 for this set of irons. It goes down to a 9 iron. So you would then need to look, obviously, at getting a pitching wedge to make up the set. But plenty of those at Golf Clubs for Cash. Again, carry there, you've obviously carried it a yard further every single time. 135, so maybe a little bit down. So let's swap in now for this G430. Again, we know we've got that wide sole. We know we've got a little bit of a thicker top edge on that. But how does it compare? So we know, obviously, with these, we have got, again, a cavity back. We know we've got that probably wider sole on that G20, and we know that is for forgiveness, and that is for the interaction with the turf to make sure that you are still getting a strike. Probably a little bit of a thicker top edge on this club, Dave.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think this looks
a little bit sleeker.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's where technology might have obviously improved over the times. They have been able to get the weight distributed a little bit better. We've got the tungsten weighting in the G430s.
I think the sole's as wide, but they've chamfered it at the back, so it doesn't look quite as wide.
Yeah, and that is obviously, again, it's still going to get you the interaction through the turf when we eventually get out on the golf course, but also maybe for a little bit of bag appeal. You've not got those, you're not that person who's got the big clunky irons in the bag.
You can't have, because you'll have head covers on, won't
Correct.
you?
Dave would have head covers on hiding his clubs anyway.
Somebody tried to fox me the other day when I was playing with them while I was taking a shot somewhere else to swap some of my head covers.
You're joking, but you caught on, Dave.
Well, yeah,
He's
eventually.
on the ball,
Eventually. I think it took me 2 shots with a 9-iron before I realised it was actually a pitching wedge.
No wonder the handicap's not coming down.
Mick Kilbride.
Mick, if you're watching, keep doing it. Straight away, different sound. Let's look at the carry. Is it consistent?
Same.
Exactly the same.
I caught it a bit fat, if I'm honest, but...
Yeah, so that's interesting there. Obviously, the ones that you hit with this G20 were well-struck shots. Obviously, there straight away. A little bit of a drop kick, but has gone just as far. Let's see if Dave can find the elusive middle.
Yes, he can.
A little bit better, Dave?
Yeah. And a bit further.
And a little bit further.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm expecting. 132 carry and a 142 total.
10 yards further. Let's go one more. Again, curvature-wise, pretty similar. It'd be interesting on the golf course if we do see. And again, guys, we are going to be getting out and playing 9 holes with this full set from 2012.
It'd be interesting to see
Again, a little bit of a drop kick.
what the difference in scoring would be between these and up-to-date ones.
So guys, that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to get outside. We know Dave's last score here at Waterfront, he did shoot 40 using his Tacoma 101 tees, which again, affordable irons, but these are coming in around about £300 cheaper than that. Is that going to affect his performance? What can he shoot over 9 holes? Not just with these irons, obviously with the woods that we've chosen for him. We've got a rescue in there. We've also got some Vokey wedges. If you can name which ones were they with the SM Watt in 2012. Then we're going to start to see what he can score with them. Is it affecting his chip in? We've also got a putter, a very classic putter. We have got a 2-ball Odyssey, which is still, again, modern day. There is newer versions of that, same face. And we're going to see what he can score with those. Again, behind me. I'm hoping Dave's hitting some good ones. 130 carry there. So one big reason why these are going further is exactly what you can see on the screen now. We can see that in 2012, your 7-iron would be lofted at 32 degrees. But if we go into the modern day clubs now, you can see that we are down at 29 degrees with a 7-iron in the G430. We know obviously technology has advanced a little bit, that yes, the lofts have got stronger, but they are still getting that higher launch.
Yeah.
We've seen that that does lower spin, which for Dave maybe is not a good thing, because that might not get him the optimum carry. So it's finding that happy balance, and this is where you go for a fitting, guys. Make sure you're taking this all into account. Do you want to spend $1,000+ on a set of golf clubs, or could you get some that maybe are not as old as these G20s, maybe something a little bit newer that still perform just as well? So guys, think about that. If you are looking for second-hand golf clubs, then obviously that is a great option for you to go, but the lofts are slightly different. So don't obviously go in there thinking, right, okay, well the 7-iron is going 10 yards shorter. It is going to go shorter because of the loft difference. We know that with this set, the G20s, the 6-iron would be the same as the 7-iron in the G430s, but price point is very different. But if you're looking for second-hand clubs, make sure you take into account that they have the correct lie angle, and also they are the correct length for you. There's a lot of golf clubs out there on the market that maybe don't state that. Don't be caught out by that. But thank you to Golf Clubs to Cash for again giving us these clubs to be able to test and put against the latest and Dave's clubs, and start to see, should you be going second-hand, or is new better?